Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to today's Coloring and Mocktails workshop. So if you want, we have some supply kits that have coloring pages as well as some coloring pencils available for curbside requests. Here in the video, we're going to go over the Mocktails demonstration, and I'm going to break it down into 3 separate parts, and I'll put timestamps for each drink so that way you can skip forward, skip back, whatever you like to do. For each drink, we'll go over your supplies, what we'll need, and then we'll go ahead and make the drinks. So let's go ahead and get started. For our first drink of this evening, we are going to be making our Rosemary Blueberry Smash, and it's going to consist of some rosemary, some blueberries that are fresh. We also have some sparkling mineral water, honey syrup, some lemon juice, and then to actually make the drink, you'll need a cocktail shaker, a measuring doohickey, I don't remember the official name for it, a muddler, a mesh strainer, and then your serving container, as well as some ice. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright everyone, in your cocktail shaker, you're going to go ahead and add roughly about 6 to 8 blueberries, depending on the size. 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to do 7. And then you're going to go ahead and get your rosemary, strip it of its leaves, and go ahead and add it to your container as well. Rosemary is relatively easy to pluck. You just gotta grab it by the ends of the leaves, close to the stem part. Add it to your mix. And then with honey syrup, it is a 1-to-1 ratio, and you heat it up on the stove. It's different from honey. I mixed this one up with some water and cooked it. And you'll go ahead and add that to your container. Once you do that, you'll get your muddler and very gently muddle everything together. If you don't have a cocktail shaker or a muddler, you can always substitute it by a very tall glass, as well as a meat tenderizer or even a fork. You're going to go ahead and muddle this for a bit. Make sure all the blueberries, the rosemary, as well as the honey syrup is mixed together. And once you've got that done, you go ahead and add some of this lemon juice. You can use fresh. I'm gonna not use fresh and use the container. But you're gonna add 1 ounce of this lemon juice. Add a little bit more. Go ahead and add a little bit of ice as well. Put on the top. Slowly build up your shakes and shake vigorously for about 10 seconds. Once you've got that done, you'll go ahead and get your container. Make sure you have some ice in there. Then you'll get your strainer. This is the hardest part of this process because you gotta wait for all of it to drain. And once most of it is drained, you have to get your sparkling mineral water. I like to tilt my drink a little bit, so that way the fizziness of your sparkling water doesn't overwhelm the drink, as I'm doing now. I think I might just add a little bit more ice. Well, once you've got that done, top it off with some blueberries and a nice rosemary sprig. And there you have it. We have a rosemary blueberry smash. For our next drink, we'll be making a virgin cucumber gimlet. With our ingredients, we're going to need some club soda, a cucumber, simple syrup, and some lime juice. For the supplies, you'll need your cocktail shaker, your measuring doohickey, and a muddler. And then we're going to go ahead and combine everything together and put it into our glass, served with ice too as well. So with that, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So with your cucumber, you're going to go ahead and slice them into slices. Put approximately 4 to 5 cucumber slices into your cocktail shaker. And you're going to go ahead and actually, we're going to muddle it first. So you're going to grab your little muddler, mash it down at the bottom. And with me, I like to muddle it by pushing down and twisting. Okay, once you have all of your cucumbers muddled in your cocktail shaker, you're going to go ahead and add your lime juice as well as your simple syrup. Gonna measure out 1 ounce. Gonna put that in there. Then you're gonna add some simple syrup. Simple syrup is basically just water and sugar. Almost like honey syrup, where it's just honey and water. Go ahead and add that to your container as well. 1 ounce of each for both the lime juice as well as your simple syrup. Almost forgot to put some ice. Add your ice to your cocktail shaker, put on the top. Again, we're going to start very slow, build up your momentum, vigorously shake for about 10 to 15 seconds. Once you have that, this cocktail shaker, the top comes off, which is really great. Because then you can pour out most of the contents. It's one of those things where it takes a little while for it to empty out. Go ahead and add more ice. And then you're going to go ahead and top it off with some club soda. Again, with our previous drink, we're gonna go ahead and add it on the side. Slowly but surely, controlling the amount of bubbles we have. And me, I like to give it a nice little stir, just to combine both the bottom layer of the ingredients with the club soda we just added. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top it off with a nice cucumber slice for garnish. And then this is a virgin cucumber gimlet. Our last drink of this evening is going to be a lavender lemonade. So everything on the table, you'll need some dried lavender, some lemon juice, some honey, and then we are going to be using some purified water to do this. You'll need your serving glass, a nice bowl. You'll need a half cup measuring cup and then a teaspoon measuring spoon, a mortar and pestle. Alternatively, you can use a bowl and a meat tenderizer for this too as well. Measuring cup, one of the mesh strainers. You'll need a saucepan and then a container to put everything. Well, we'll go over the container here in a minute. So with that, let's get started. Alright everyone, so I skipped a step. I added 4 cups of water into the saucepan. We're going to add an additional 2 cups, so that way there's 6 cups in total. Unless you have a steady hand like mine, which mine isn't at the moment, make sure that when you're measuring water, it's on a flat surface. But we're going to, like I mentioned, 6 cups of water. And we are using purified water, drinking water, just so that way there's more freshness to it. I wouldn't recommend using tap, but it's up to you if you want to use tap. And then while this warms up, we're going to also add some honey. Actually, you can just take this out. And you're going to add a half a cup of honey to your water. I'm going to go ahead and let that drip into the saucepan. It is going to take a while, but while that does this, you're going to need your bowl, your mortar and pestle. Again, if you don't have one of these, you're more than welcome to substitute it with a bowl as well as a meat tenderizer, but we're going to crush up some lavender. And there is some honey left in the container itself. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and, from the honey container, add a little bit more. So we're going to let this boil on a medium-high heat until the honey is incorporated into the water itself. And we're going to use 5 tablespoons of dried lavender. So we're going to do this a tablespoon at a time. Get your pestle and you're just going to slowly crush up the lavender, so that way the flowers are somewhat of a powder. And And I'm using rotations and twist method to crush up the lavender evenly. When you use lavender, make sure that it is drinkable, because if you get it from a flower shop, it's going to have a slightly different consistency with the pesticides. So this one here is organic, so it's not going to have the harmful chemicals that you would normally find in other lavender alternatives. So again, that's going to boil. I'm going to crush up the lavender. Alright everyone, so we're going to add our last tablespoon of lavender into our mortar and pestle. Before I grind that up, we got to make sure to go ahead and mix the honey and water together as it's boiling too as well, because you don't want it caramelizing on the bottom of your pan. And again, we're rotating the mortar as well as the pestle at the same time, so that way all the lavender flowers get crushed up nice and evenly. And it's okay if not all the flowers are crushed, but you want a good majority of them nice and ground. Yeah. And mine is relatively easy to clean. Just need some water and dish soap to do this, to clean it up. And while that boils, I'm going to add the crushed up lavender into our container. And then the last thing you'll need to do is go ahead and add the water into the honey. Or the honey water into your container. Alright, so I didn't mention this before we finished our water and honey with the lavender. You're going to go ahead and cover it, put it in your fridge for at least 2 hours, and then you're going to go ahead and take it out of the fridge, and we'll continue the next part. What you want to do, if you want, use freshly squeezed lemon. Again, I'm going to cut some corners and add the lemon juice that I had from earlier. I'm not going to be able to get a full cup out of this, so I'm going to only do a half a cup. Have our container, add some ice. Once you've added your ice, add your lemon juice. That's actually perfect. And then Because there's lavender inside your container, you're going to get a mesh strainer, and you're going to slowly add it to your mocktail. And caught a little bit of lavender. And then if you want, you can get a stirring spoon, mix it up just a tad bit. And I don't have any fresh lemons. I should have brought some fresh lemons. But you can garnish it with a fresh lemon. And there you have it. We have some nice lavender lemonade using 4 ingredients: water, honey, lavender, and some lemon juice. Thank you for joining me this afternoon as we worked on 3 different mocktails. We worked on a rosemary blueberry smash, a virgin cucumber gimlet, as well as a lavender lemonade. So as I mentioned previously, I'll put timestamps for each drink so that way you can skip back, skip forward, entirely up to you. If you are interested in doing the coloring portion of our workshop for today, we do have some supply kits available. You'll receive some coloring pages, some coloring pencils, as well as the written instructions for all of the drinks that are featured in this video. All you'll have to do is just go to our website, fill out the supply request kit, and then we'll go ahead and contact you when it's ready for pickup. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to all of our social media platforms. They are available on the homepage of our website, everything from Facebook to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and more. My name is Joshua. Thank you for hanging out with me today as we dived in some mocktail recipes. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.